Hey everyone, this is Brian. I hope you're having a good afternoon. And today is Thursday, March 12th, 2009. And I am here with my review of Sonic the Hedgehog 198. Now you might ask yourself, why are you doing it so early? How did you get your comic so early? Well, let's just say I have my sources, and I think some of you know what those sources are. But anyway, to start out with the review, we start out with the 5 preview pages leave us off on. Sonic and the others are basically launching an attack on New Megalopolis, which is being counteracted by the Dark Egg Legion. Now, the Dark Egg Legion thinks, they have the upper hand, right? Well, what happens is they're wrong. Because just when it looks like to them that the freedom fighters are falling back, because they're not making any advances, and they believe that they have broke the momentum that the freedom fighters have. And just as Lein-Da thinks this is their day, they can finally win it, here comes the Chaotix. And Knuckles basically telling Lein-Da, hey, wrong, you're wrong, you've been fooled, you've been flanked. Now, Lein-Da tries everything to try to stop him, but she forgets about the freedom fighters, in which Sonic destroys her little Eggmobile she's in. She tries to counteract against Sonic by hitting him with his whip, saying she will not be, defeated by a base Mobian like him. Or embarrassed, I should say. Sonic tries to tell her, hey, be careful with what you're doing. Antron tries to stop her, saying, you work with the Eggman. You work with Eggman, saying, hey, working with Eggman's bad enough, but now you have to make such vile remarks. Where is your honor? And she says, and basically she tells Antron, don't you dare judge me. Basically telling Antron, hey, don't you dare judge me about honor. I have honor, my own kind of honor. Well, she doesn't really say that, but you know what I mean. Now she tells the Dark Egg Legion, basically after she's realized they're under they can't advance, to pull back and to call for some support, or she calls it blasted support. Charmy informs Sally that the Legion is retreating. Sally thanks Charmy, tells him to spread the word for everyone, the freedom fighters and the Chaotix, to regroup, because now it is time to finish it. Basically, in her words, it is time to finally end this war. And at the same time, Tails calls up on Nicole and tells Sally, okay, I'm done. I'm ahead of schedule on what you wanted me to do. She says good work, tells him to meet up with them. And like I said before, says because the reason is because now it is time to finish it. And as I said, because in her mind and everybody else's mind, this is the final time they're going to fight Robotnik. The war ends, now. Now we have Dimitri informing Eggman that his people, the Legion, is being severely beaten, and they need help. Eggman feels, hey, that's my cue. Ho ho, it's time to go to victory. Ha ha. I have the ultimate weapon. It's time for me to be the hero for the Dark Egg Legion. Now, Dimitri feels as though, well, as much as he appreciates, the personal touch on Eggman's part, why not just, bring back the Badnik? Why not, bring out the reserve Badnik cord? And Eggman has to inform him, I would, but except Urajak, Knuckles, if you will, back from 180 to 184, made sure that wouldn't happen because he basically wiped him out. But since he's built his new weapon, it's not like he would really need them anyway. And basically informs Dimitri that Sonic, or as he calls him, the rodent, has pushed things too far with him now, and that this will be the end of him, and that's that. Again, Eggman trying to feel as though with his new weapon, his new toy, he's finally going to get the advantage. Now we go back to the battle. Lein-Da is telling the riflemen, her Dark Legion riflemen, to provide some cover fire where they, escape or try to do what they have to. Now Sally says that. Now Sally says basically says that they outnumber them still. If they refuse to, that even if they refuse to surrender, they still outnumber them. And Sonic said, "Well, not really, since I count only 30 of them." And at the same time, Lein-Da orders them to open fire, the Dark Egg Legion to open fire. But what she doesn't know is Sally is ready for this, and she tells Tails, "Shut them down." Tails hits a little remote control, and all the weapons have been disabled. Basically. So in other words, them trying to fire back is pointless. Now Lein-Da is trying to tell them, fire, why aren't you firing? And they have to tell her it's not working. Nothing's working. Nothing's working. And Sally basically informs Lein-Da, your weapons the guns have been deactivated, and that if they surrender now, they can end this peacefully. But at the same time Sally says this, here comes Dr. Eggman with his new toy, the Egg Phoenix. And he basically starts to fire upon not just the freedom fighters, but basically everyone. The chaotics, and, like I said, everyone. And everybody is just scattering because of this new toy he has. Now Charmy basically tells Sally the Legion is retreating again. And she says, basically Sally tells Charmy, well, that's good, but I'm not concerned about that right now. Oh. And she asks Bunny if she can generate another force field. Bunny informs her, sorry, if I do that, I'll pass out. Basically, if she pushes herself any more so to beyond her limits, she'll pass out, probably die. We don't know. Well, basically, she says she passes out. And now here we go. Eggman's attacking again. She tells everyone to run and scatter. And you think, she's standing in the middle. Whoops, she's going to get blasted, right? No, she runs as well. Well, and back at the Egg Dome, Snively and Dimitri are kind of surprised that, whoa, I can't believe Eggman's doing it. He's actually winning. And Dimitri's like, yes, how wonderful for him. Whoop-de-doo kind of deal. Like basically Dimitri's not totally impressed by it. Now, while this is happening, Dimitri informs Snively. Now, this is happening. Dimitri also informs Snively that yeah, he's winning, but he's also almost killing my people, his people, the Legion, as well. And Snively says, well, that's collateral damage. I don't care about it. But Dimitri says, well, you should care. Well, he doesn't say it in this way. He says, well, you should care, because while the Doctor holds our destruction over his head, with the bombs and the cybernetics, he says, I hold yours, Snively, as well. Basically, he informs Snively that he's been doing some snooping, doing some spying, and he has found out about Snively's little love affair that he has with the Iron Queen, Regina. And it's basically it's who we think it is. It's because he has found this out while he's been searching for ways for anything that would help protect his people, save his people from an imminent destruction. And he tells Snively that the welfare of his people is the most important. Orton, and then if Snively doesn't do something, he will let Eggman in on Snively's little love affair with Regina. But Snively kind of counteracts and says, hey, you're an enterprising man. And Dimitri, Why? Basically, he tries to counters by saying, "Why tattle on me when we could both benefit from her arrival?" In other words, meaning she's going to show up soon, probably next issue. Now, while this is happening, Eggman is still firing on all the freedom fighters in the Chaotix. Sally asks if they got any ideas. Knuckles is more like, "Well, mine involves getting close to that thing, so what can we, which we can't, so no." And Tails is like, "Maybe we can reuse the neutralizing mine, or whatever, the neutralizing mine, so whatever he's calling it." And I will be back with part 2 of my review.